Hey John, just a quick video to show you a couple of things about the car, right? Because some things that aren't in the manual, which I've just learned over my time with it, but just to show you, right? You know that has LPG, so that's what that little button there is. When it's orange like that, it means that it's switched off, right? So uh, once you switch it on, it's automatic, uh, which means that it's always in use up until the time it runs out of gas, or when you're starting the car from cold as well, it'll turn to petrol. So that's all automatic. Or you can have it switched off all the time. I have it switched off at the minute, but you know, if I switch it on, whoops, and the car's still on. Sometimes it'll do that now if if you switch it over when it's idling, right? So you're better to switch it over when the car's actually running, right? And did you see it took a couple of goes there to start the car? That's one little foible about the gas, I guess, is that it does that. So that's got 3 bars on it, 3 dots, right? That means the tank is about 3/4 full. When it gets to zero, it will switch itself back to petrol. Um, So the way we've been using it is just manually switching it on and off. Just, you know, long distance gas, short distances we've just been using petrol. No real reason for that. Just that, you know, it's our LPG station is far away from everywhere else. So we're just trying to get the most out of it. Anyway, there you go. If I switch it back now, I wonder will it stall because the car's idling, right? But let's see. No, it switched to petrol straight away. So, and you heard the beep. So, yeah, that's it. Let's try it again, right? So it was okay that time. Yeah, so that's just what happens. Do you know when starting the car from hot, and this is a foil because the car's on gas. When starting the car from hot, put the throttle in a little bit, right, and then start it, and it should start straight away. From cold, it normally starts in one go, but depending if you've been using gas or not, it might take 2 or 3 goes before it starts from cold. Okay, so that's all really. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to switch that off, and then switch it on again. I put the foot in a little bit and the throttle. It'll start straight away. Yeah, so nothing to worry about there. It's just something to know. That red light for the ABS, that will go out once you're over, I think it's 10 miles an hour. So that automatically resets. So nothing to worry about there. What else to show you? I don't really know about the heater and all that sort of stuff and the aircon. The aircon works and it's cold, but what the settings are, no idea. Honestly, no idea. That button there is heated seats, and same over there. And then these 3 buttons are for the air suspension. So I'm going to press the down button. I think the car's in normal mode at the moment. So I'm going to press that down button and then let you see what happens. Okay, so if you try and watch the level, you see it went down a wee bit. So that's what happens. So the car's in low mode at the minute, which is nice for getting people in and out. I'm going to press up, which is high mode. You don't need to worry about this. If you're in low mode or whatever, once you drive over a couple of miles an hour, it raises itself to normal driving height, right? If you go over 60 miles an hour, I think the car lowers itself automatically. This orange light comes on, and there's kind of a different noise. You know, you hit different noise in the tires, and I think it's because the car has lowered itself. You know, for speed. That's fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's normal automatic, right? And then you've got this low and high mode here. The way that works is, so it's always in high, which is down. Low would be for when you're pulling something in muck or whatever. The way to change it is you put the car in neutral, and then you should be able to put that forward into the low mode. Right, so that's the way it works. And the car, it just works as normal. It's just it's slower and it can pull better. But that's the way it works. To get it back, put it neutral again, and then bring it back. If it doesn't go back, you might need to move the car backwards and forwards a wee bit just to get it to go back. But that's normal as well. I think once you change the mode, you're supposed to drive it back and forth a little bit anyway, just to unwind the suspension. I'm not sure what that means, but you know, that's what the book says. The what do you call it? The sunroof works fine if you don't use it for a while. Sometimes the slide option doesn't work, but that's it. It works after a couple of goes. But see, that's the whole thing about these old cars. You're better just using them and getting the use out of them. If you don't do that, they don't like sitting around and they don't like just not being used. Honestly. What else to show you in here? Rear fog lights, front fog lights, cruise control doesn't work. That's the dome light. I think that's the rear heated windscreen, and that's the front heated windscreen. So it all works nice and well. You've got a button here for the filler cap on the driver's side, and then headlamps and things there. Indicators and horn and full beam. And over here you've got wipers with the intermittent option as well. I don't use that. It looks like it's part of an immobilizer. I don't know if it works or not, honestly. I just never use it, never had to use it. It doesn't light up, so I think it might just be a relic from the past. This light lights up, which is the default Land Rover immobilizer, so I think that's what works. But anyway, in the cubby hole here there is a little dongle, and that must be something to do with that. So anyway, it's there, but whether you use it or not, it's up to you. There's a remote control as well for that stereo. That stereo, I'm not sure how good the FM is. I never really tuned it in, but it's fine for DAB, and it's fine for USB. Right, it's in there, and it takes memory cards as well, and you can plug in a wire connection. So it's a brilliant system.
We want to give you more time.
It's got speakers all around the place and a subwoofer in the boot, so you'll like that. What else to show you? Yeah, I think that's it. There's nothing weird other than the gas system. Oh yeah, there's two switches under the console here. I've marked them, right? See that switch there, and then that switch there. Oops, there. I have no idea what they do. I've written that on it. So they could be. I think the car might have had spotlights on it in the past, and it could be something to do with that. I honestly don't know. Let me think what else. One last thing maybe to show you is if you ever need to get at the diagnostics connector for the engine and that, not that you will, but it lives under there. There's a diagnostics under the passenger seat for the ABS, and then the air suspension has diagnostics under the front seat as well, and there's a switch for that. You see that little switch there? I'm going to hide it back under the seat, but that little switch, and I put a label on it, if you click that, it'll disable the automatic setting of the air suspension. So I don't know why you'd want to do that, but it's there as an option. Okay. And under the bonnet there's 4 pipes going to each of the airbags as well, so that you can connect it up to an air supply and pump the car up really high. Never needed to do that, but some previous owner has put that in as an option. Right, so there you go. That's it. Hope you have fun with this anyway. It's been good to us. Just keep it change the oil every year, change the coolant every 2 years. Give it a wax oil every once in a while. Don't be afraid to power wash it. You know, that wax oil lasts, but there's no harm. No harm keeping it topped up once a year or once every 2 years. But